one more thing I want to add about kind of why I'm doing this. I really personally experienced the benefit of community and what being part of a community or supported by a community or supporting in a community can do for you in terms of your health and your wellness and your outlook on life. And I used to have a very rigid idea of what a community was. Like a physical, like, oh, this is a community. This is a community garden. I think community can be more than that. I think it's anything that we share, anything that we find joy in, that we are unafraid to enjoy together, and to get to know each other through. So I'm not really sure where this whole cooking channel thing is going. I don't want to call it a cooking channel. I'm doing this. I'm doing this for me, but I'm also going to do it for anyone who may benefit. So maybe I will have one person following my cooking channel, but if it brings them joy, makes them happy, makes them feel part of something bigger, that's okay. Maybe I'll have much more than that. I have no idea, but I'm doing this regardless. I really love this cookbook. I'm going to be doing a lot of recipes out of here. I will show some pictures at some point of the pages, and I'm definitely taking suggestions. My kind of current outlook on eating is just trying to eat the best I can whenever I can. So with the whole foods, trying to eat those like 80% of the time. 80% of the foods I'm consuming are these whole foods, these building blocks of good food and good health. And the other 20% is the fun stuff. That's fair game. That's where it's late at night and I'm feeling a little snacky. And once you kind of adopt that 80-20 method, you have a lot more comfort in eating your comfort foods, because you're like, I know that throughout this week or throughout this day, I've put all these whole foods in my body, so I earned this. Like, I can eat this. It's okay that this isn't the most healthy thing, because I've eaten lots of healthy things. So I think that kind of gets away from unhealthy eating, whether it's binge eating or obsessive eating or just eating because of any reason. There's lots of reasons we eat. The only reason we should eat is because we're hungry and our body needs food. Our body does not need food. Our body needs fuel and food. So I've learned that my own eating was often driven by boredom or emotions, sadness, anger, and I think society likes to be like, oh yeah, comfort food, we all do it. That's okay. It is okay. We all do it. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be mindful of what that is and what it's doing to us and how it's changing how we eat and share food. So I got a little bit rambly, as always. If you know me, you know I get very excited when I start to talk about something, which is another reason I'm doing this. Because my poor partner gets to hear many of my rambles. And she's good at listening, but it's not fair. So this is in a way an outlet for me to express my ramblings and to not burden the people around me. So I'm kind of on autopilot here, thinking about what I normally have to do to cook, but I'm going to read the instructions. Now before I like to cook, obviously, wash your hands. I'm going to do this right in front of you so you can see that they're clean. Shut that tap off. Yeah, if you're ever making food for people, just do them a favor and wash your hands. Don't get people sick. That can turn a very potentially nice thing, sharing a meal, into a nightmare. So, wash your hands. And what I always like to do when I'm cooking is have the recipe book out, or a piece of paper, or the computer, whatever you're cooking from, and just have it ready to go. And alongside that, I like to put all my ingredients that I'm going to be using. So here we've got whole wheat bread, banana, lemon juice, tofu, and peanut butter. So here it says, this is one of those weird things where books of different times. Mash banana thoroughly, mix in the lemon juice. Mash tofu, blend in tofu and peanut butter until thoroughly mixed. Spread on bread and garnish as desired. Yields approximately 8 open-faced sandwiches. So I thought 8 open-faced sandwiches. That's like a toast with nothing on top. That's not a sandwich. So I thought I was going to make 8 sandwiches following this. No, this is going to make 4 sandwiches. So if I want to make 16 sandwiches, I got to quadruple this recipe. I got to multiply it by 4. So instead of 1 banana, I'm going 4 bananas. I do not think I have 16 slices of bread. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. We've got 20 slices of bread. No one gets crust. And peanut butter, and then a teaspoon of lemon juice. So I'm just going to recently did my kitchen organize, which means I don't know where everything is. But I think it can be frustrating at first when we do these things, but it really is a reminder that we often live life on autopilot, and we don't think about what we're doing. We're in cruise control. So instead of thinking where is the knife and trying to find it, I went to the normal spot, which I always go to. And I'm having a similar struggle with the lemon juicer, which is in the dishwasher. Now this is a little dirty, but it was used to juice lemons. So I'm just going to give it a quick rinse and wash. And even though I'm a math teacher and I'm supposed to know this, I always forget my measurements and my conversions. Sorry, my grade 9 class. So I'm going to have to check on a device to see how many milliliters 4 teaspoons of lemon is. I think it's teaspoon 15 milliliters? No, tablespoon. 5 milliliters? Okay. I once again realized that you don't have time to be messing around trying to find exact measurements, so I'm just going to grab a good old teaspoon and put 4 teaspoons in there. Now I was thinking initially that I was going to roast this tofu, so I thought raw tofu. Why would I want to eat raw tofu? But it's not up to me. It's the recipe book. So it says just mash the tofu. Now I do want to make 2 options because there was quite a bit of heated debate at the workplace about mashed tofu or sliced tofu. So I got this banana tofu dessert, which I thought would make a nice mashed tofu, and then I got your kind of go-to tofu, which I thought would make a nice whole tofu. Now I'm really gonna have to be clever here with my time, and that's part of the fun I like about cooking, is when you start cooking sometimes things happen, and you have less time than you might have thought. And normally when that happens to me, I panic and I'm like, throw it away. It's not worth it. It's not worth the stress. But if you can change your mindset and have a little fun with it, take it like a challenge. If I'm 5 minutes late to work on my 3rd day, but I show up with tofu sandwiches, I think that might be worth it, instead of rushing there, being upset with how my day went. So let's get busy. Mash the tofu. So with my banana tofu, I'm going to mash that math right now. Bowl. I've never had this stuff. It's weird. Apologies if you're a tofu advocate. And then in terms of like where I'm at with my I don't really like when people say dieting or like I'm on a diet, because just saying that I feel like implies that it's a temporary thing. It's, oh, I'm gonna go on a diet for a bit, lose some weight, and then what? Then you're gonna go back to your normal eating, which has led you to feel like you need to diet. But I think it's not. We don't go dieting. We know it is our diet. It's a changing process, and sometimes it gets really hard to maintain a good diet because life happens and we get busy and things happen and people get sick and you don't have time to really enjoy your food, or enjoy the food making process. Hi, Lab.
Hello. Is anybody else here?
No, I'm speaking to a camera to practice my public speaking skills while cooking.
Oh, I was wondering. Okay, that's great. That's
Don't be
great.
alarmed. Yeah, you might hear a bit more of me speaking loudly about food, but it's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I should do that too.
Have a nice day. This is looking quite liquidy. I was not predicting this. That was my landlord who just found out I'm starting a personal cooking channel. This is looking a little bit runnier than I was expecting. I don't think that would be good in sandwich. It looks kind of like soft scrambled eggs. So I'm gonna take a chance here. I'm gonna mash up. Hold on. Do I want to do this? This is extra firm tofu. Okay. Regardless of if this is going in there or not, I need to slice it. Now this is why I was really hesitant about making these sandwiches initially. I thought taking a big slice of chunky tofu like this is going to be weird and it might be a little upsetting. I think I realize what I'm going to do, and again, it comes down to what do I have time to do? And that's not a lot. So I'm going to put peanut butter on one side of the sandwiches, and I'm going to put the mashed tofu on the other, and then banana and tofu, the firm tofu, the sliced tofu in the middle. And we're going to see how this goes. I'm excited. So let's actually just check in with the, mash banana thoroughly, mix in lemon juice, mash tofu, blend in tofu and peanut butter until, so mash the banana and put it in here. That might make it better. Yeah, let's try that. Again, it's important to pause and read the instructions, whatever they are. Cookbook, someone's telling you what to do, they shouldn't be telling you what to do. Someone's asking you what you should do or what you can do. Listen carefully, because often we put our own kind of perception on what we listen to. So when I heard this, I instantly created an idea of what these tofu sandwiches were going to look like without checking the recipe. And I thought it wouldn't be thick enough without banana in there. Guess what? That's what the recipe told me to do. So, Alex, you need to read the recipe and do less talking, more cooking. Okay, yeah, this is looking better. Now, I've never been a huge cooking show person, but I do love them. I just, I find it hard to watch a cooking show and to enjoy it and to not get hungry and to not want to taste the food. And as I'm transitioning in my life into an adult, yay, things like money have become a little bit different, and you start to become capable of maybe watching a cooking show and then enjoying it and then buying all the ingredients and making it yourself. But I never found cooking shows very inclusive. It seemed a little bit of an elite thing to me, of like, ooh, look at this fancy food I'm gonna make because I'm so healthy and usually wealthy. And that part of it was quite off-putting for me. And then I think combined with me just getting hungry every time I watched was not a good combination. So if you're expecting top-notch cooking show expertise and knowledge and awareness, you're in the wrong place. If you want someone to ramble and talk about their feelings and food and cooking and community and how to foster those things, you've come to the right place. And if that makes me a hippie, then so be it. Do I care? No, I'm a hippie. So, we've mashed it out. I'm going to put in my 4 teaspoons of lemon juice, wherever I put it. Now, I don't think I'm going to mix the peanut butter in here. I think this has gotten to a kind of a nice, it's actually still quite creamy, but I don't think I'm going to put peanut butter in here. I think I'm going to put peanut butter on the bread. So I need to create a bit more space here to start making station. Now, when we talk about hand washing, it's not just a once and done type thing. Depending on what you're cooking, you might have to wash your hands multiple times. I just mindlessly wash my hands without soap. So I'm going to do that. Good thing I'm on camera. Whoever's watching me is holding me accountable to wash my hands. Okay. I'm not sure how I'm going to transport this. I've actually got 20 minutes to finish making these, pack them up, get ready for work, and bike on up to you there. Thinking this vessel might carry a lot of sandwiches. I've had my eye on it. But we're going to make them first and then see where they might fit. Okay. I'm going to put out another cutting board. I know this table's clean, but I'm being watched, so I best be on my best behavior. Just grab a bunch of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I've been learning interesting things about procrastination lately. And how it might not be the worst thing, you know? I think it gets a really, I think everyone knows what it is. It's a buzzword. You're probably shamed by your teachers for procrastinating. I might not be your teacher, but I am a teacher, and I say, if you procrastinate, and it becomes hard and challenging, and you have less time to work in, but you work hard and you get it done, and you don't compromise your standard of work, guess what? You just accomplished something in less time. You were more efficient. You did it better. So applying that mindset has really helped me in being gentle with myself when I forget things or I'm not on top of things. Is one of the teachers I met during one of my practicums was really supportive. I was having a tough time dealing with the demands of the profession, and he just kept saying whenever I would struggle, he said, in the past, whenever you've struggled, whenever it's happened, so you've always made it. You've always gone past it. Whatever it is, you've always gone past it because you're here right now. And thinking about that during the times when you're struggling due to your own procrastination, like me last night, coming home from a 8 to 4 shift and having to do 6 hours straight of my online courses because I left it to the last day. It was really hard not to hate myself, essentially, at that point. And that's what I normally do. I get really, really upset. Why did I do this? I'm so stupid. time I procrastinate, and every time it causes me so much stress. So guess what? Every time I finish, not every time, most of the time I finish, there's some times where you're just too far past it and something comes up. But every time that I did finish, I felt good about it, and I felt really good at the work I put in, but I also felt good about the speed and the intensity at which I worked, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm making banana peanut butter tofu sandwiches at 1,000,000 miles per hour. Okay, how many pieces of tofu did I cut? I should have maybe cut this properly. I just went randomly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 pieces for 16 sandwiches. So maybe I could, 15 pieces for 8 sandwiches with 16 pieces of bread. Slice the thickest one to get one more. Ooh, that's a bit of a minuscule. That's fine. Someone is getting a skinny tofu sandwich. And I'm just going to place, maybe I'll balance out the big ones with the small ones. No one probably cares though. Oh! Okay, extra firm, but will still fall apart if you give it even a very small chance. Nice. And if you're a little disappointed at this point why I'm not including cheese in a channel called Cheesy Health, this isn't really about cheese cooking. This is about just being cheesy and silly and not afraid of what anyone thinks. This isn't a channel that's, or an anything or whatever, a community that's going to be dictated by what people don't want or what people aren't interested in. If they are not interested, they don't have to watch. This is going to be dictated by what people do want. So the people who are commenting and saying, you should make this recipe out of this book, or you should do this, that's what I care about. That's what I'm going to listen to. And I think the more we can apply that mindset to our life, the much happier we're going to be in our lives, because there's a lot of negative people and they like to make you feel like shit. They don't like to, but they just do it consciously or subconsciously, and you don't have to let that weigh you down. Okay, gonna reel it back in a bit, getting a bit too hippie. And I have 14 minutes to get there, and I've got the best part to go. So this is where it's gonna be game time. I just might have sprayed banana juice all over the floor. I'm gonna be scooping. Ooh, okay, this is gonna be. These are gonna be a little sloppy. And then I'm going to. Oh, I'm so excited for how these are going to be received. You can just hear how gloopy they are. Maybe I'll. Whoa, jeez. Oh man. Okay, that's a juicy dog. Where I'm kind of at with my plant-based vegetarianism, whatever you want to call it, is again, I think labeling something kind of, or making a deal out of changing a way of eating really does affect your ability to maintain that change, and it for me at least, I like it to be a long-term thing. I don't want to do something and then give up on it. I like to commit to things and follow through, and normally I don't, because I don't think I'm capable, and I am. So when we're talking about meat, I've had a very evolving relationship with meat as I've gotten older and just become more aware of food and where it comes from. And I think it just goes back to the process thing of, do you know where it's from? How many ingredients are in here? What's the story of this meat? Not to get too artsy, but if I can't answer those questions at the grocery store, I'm a little bit less interested in putting it in my body. If I don't know where it's from, I mean, there's the whole ethical side, and you can think about that, but and that affects how I feel about meat too. But mostly, it's I don't know where that shit came from. That might not make me feel good. Okay, so it turns out I've got 7 sandwiches, extremely sloppy. Gonna make a mess. I'm gonna be transporting these via bike. I do not have very many containers that are conducive to sandwich carrying. This is not part of the plan. But am I going to cry about it, or am I going to try and find a fucking solution? I'm just going to take a lot of time where I have, ooh, yes, squares. All the square ones are dirty. I love that. Okay, I think maybe 3 will slide nicely in here. Now I'm going to do my fastest bike ride maybe ever. And I'm still going to be a little late. But if anyone at my work is watching this, I do hope you can understand the reason which I'm late. And I'll make it up to you with an offer of a tofu banana peanut butter sandwich. Or for a normal person, and that sounds weird and upsetting, that's a weird request for you, or a weird offer, then I'll find some other way to make it up for you. But I will not apologize for being a few moments late, because I was aware of that choice when I decided to follow through with this project of making banana sandwiches for the squad. That one's worked too. I learned something. I also find that I seem to learn the most when I'm forced to improvise and I'm under stress and I'm feeling the pressure, and there's no time for mistakes. That's kind of the other thing about procrastination. When you leave yourself no time to go over things, no time to get hung up on little details, you're just in it. You don't worry about that. I'm going to leave one of these here for me, because I made these. I worked hard. I would like to see what they're like. I've still got a bunch of filling. But the main reason is I do not want to bike with my lunch and then a ton of banana sandwiches on my 1-year bike up the great giant Falbay. So, normally we'd have a debrief and I'd clean and talk about the importance of winding down your cooking. But I have 9 minutes to travel, 10 minutes, with a very full bag. So, thank you for joining me. I had a very good time cooking. I hope you did too. I don't really care if you didn't, but I hope you did. You can keep your eyes peeled for more of these videos. If you want to be a part of it, please, anyone, be a part of it. You're welcome here. You can ask me to cook anything from any book at any time, and I will listen. And it might be upsetting at how much I listen. So that's all for today. I'm gonna transition back into reality. This has been a really, really nice escape. See, like 20 minutes ago, I was already talking about public speaking and how it's daunting for me, and then 20 minutes later, I'm talking about it being an escape. So I think that's what it can do. Face your fears. Go into them. They on the other side of fear is good things, as long as you're being responsible and smart and not doing things which will put you in a really unsafe place. But a lot of my fears come from not a real lack of physical safety where I might die. It just feels like I might die at any moment, which is what anxiety is. But anxiety will not kill you in a short-term sense. It can definitely lead to other things and complications, which I'm not advocating to not listen for. But if you have struggled with anxiety and public speaking, social anxiety, I encourage you just to take these small risks. Like, just be a little bit separated from yourself, and realize that if you try something and it doesn't go well, or you whatever, that's okay. It wasn't about you. That was about what you did. So you can put a bit of a barrier between your actions and your thoughts. Not every thought we have is true. A lot of them are very bad. It's kind of like a classroom of 30 kids yelling all the time. And yeah, there's probably a few really nice, good thoughts in there, really good kids. But most of them have some really unmet needs, and they need attention, and they want it quick. And that's how our thoughts work. So